want Netanyahu to stop attacking innocent people, just threaten to cut off funding to the Israeli government, and watch how fast Netanyahu changes his tune.
There is major news here in Washington about the war between Israel and Hamas. Tonight, the White House and Pentagon almost simultaneously saying that U.S. intelligence supports Israel's claim that Hamas has a vast tunnel system under hospitals to store weapons and hold hostages. Tonight, retired Admiral John Kirby, a spokesman for the National Security Council, told reporters aboard Air Force One that using hospitals like that would amount to a war crime. President Biden today had a message for the families of hostages to hang in there. Quote, "We're coming." What that means is still unclear.
I mean, it's a war crime to use a hospital as like a military base of operations or whatever, but it's also a war crime to kill innocent people. You can't, two war crimes don't make, something right.
And tonight, CBS News can confirm that one of those hostages is 3-year-old Abigail Edon from Arizona. She is the youngest American being held by Hamas. Back here in Washington, tens of thousands came from all over the country for the March for Israel on the National Mall. We have a lot of news to bring you tonight, and CBS's Nancy Cordes will start us off from the White House.
Israeli tanks surround Gaza's largest hospital, which U.S. officials say is doubling as a command and control hub for Hamas. Still, the U.S. urged Israel today not to fire any more munitions at Al-Shifa Medical Center amid reports of incubators failing, babies dying, and a mass grave being dug on hospital grounds to dispose of dozens of bodies.
We do not.
Yeah, all these innocent people dying is justified because supposedly Hamas has a base underneath the hospital. That's just messed up to try to claim it's okay to kill innocent hostages because they're being used as human shields.
Not want to see a firefight in a hospital where there are innocent civilians.
As the conflict moves into its 6th week, Gaza is gripped by a full-blown healthcare crisis. In northern Gaza, there is just one functioning hospital left. CBS News heard from one of the doctors there.
There's over 500 wounded, and there's only 2 operating rooms, where 3 surgeons and an obstetrician providing care for the whole of Gaza City.
At the White House today, President Biden expressed rare optimism about the potential for a deal to free some of the roughly 240 hostages, including up to 9 Americans who are currently being held by Hamas.
I've been talking with the people involved every single day. I believe it's going to happen, but I don't want to get into detail.
But the Israeli Defense Forces confirmed today that one of the hostages, a 19-year-old female Israeli soldier, had been killed.
We will no longer stay silent.
On the National Mall in Washington, D.C.
Yes, it is a war crime to kill hostages, and yes, Hamas is trash. But the Israeli government can't Hamas to justify killing innocent people because they become just as bad as Hamas for killing innocent people.
See today, thousands gathered to show support for Israel amid a wave of anti-Semitism here at home.
From the river to the sea.
Rebecca Hammerman, who is Jewish, brought her 14-year-old down from Westchester, New York.
What's been the hardest part about all of this as a mom?
You know, I think as a mom, all you want is for your kids to feel safe and secure. And I think this has sort of shaken us and made us feel less safe than we have ever really felt before.
Goldie Zazone is a sophomore at Rutgers University and the great-grandchild of Holocaust survivors.
I feel like what we're going through right now is exactly what happened to them in 1940, the year before the Holocaust began.
And Nancy Cordes joined.
What about the Palestinian people now who are actually going through a genocide by people who were either parents or, family members to people in a Holocaust and are just doing the same thing? It is pretty wild, in all honesty, how the far-right uh, Israeli politicians are doing the same thing that the Nazis did to their family members in the past.
Joins us now from the White House. Nancy, want to talk about our U.S. troops. I understand they were attacked again today in the Middle East by Iranian-backed forces. What's the very latest?
Well, Nora, that attack takes the number of strikes on U.S. forces in the region over the past month to at least 56. And the number of U.S. troops who have been injured is now standing at 60. The U.S. military has launched 3 separate retaliatory airstrikes on these Iranian-backed forces. And in fact, new Pentagon video just released tonight shows the most recent of those strikes Sunday night in northeastern Syria, taking.
I wonder if everybody would be okay if the United States just started killing a bunch of innocent Iranian people because he had some terrorist military. Would they be justified in committing a siege and a genocide of the Iranian people? No.
Out a safe house and a training area. U.S. officials say they are prepared to launch a 4th strike, Nora, if these attacks